Hey, it's Matt. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Google Mail or Gmail to actually host and run your own branded domain email. So in this example, I have a business here called ActiveFit with a website activefit.com.au. But let's just say hypothetically, I've been using activefit at gmail.com. Like I don't have an actual domain address like matt at activefit.com.au. And now I need one. So we recommend and we use Google, so not Gmail. Well, it is Gmail, but we use Google to host our email. We use it for our business zip leads. I use it for my other companies as well. And so it's just, I think it's hands down just the best environment to work on. Google with your Google Drive, Google Sheets, Google Docs, Gmail to run the email works really, really well. So, and it's about $10 a month, depending on which plan you're on, and we'll have a look at that in a second. So if you want to do this process, this is what I'm going to show you right now. To do this, you'll need to be logged into your wherever your domain is hosted and where you have what's called your DNS records. Now, you may not even need to do anything with your DNS records because Google might do it for you depending on what host you're on. Now, I'm using GoDaddy for this example because this is one that I know a lot of people are using. I don't think it's as popular now, but it certainly was about 5-10 years ago, where it seems to be a lot of people have their domains registered that we're working with. So I'm going to use GoDaddy, and we're just going to make sure we've got our DNS records open at the moment. Now, you might be wondering, well, couldn't I just host my email with GoDaddy? You totally can. This is just the video of how to do it with Google. So what I'm going to do is look up Google Workspace. That's the actual technical term. It used to be called G Suite. Now it's called Google Workspace. And we're going to go to Google Workspace and create an account here. So you can start a free trial. I think that's the way to go. Okay, and then we put in our business name here. And you put in whatever it is. In this case, I'm just saying just me. Now you will need a current email address if it needs to send you some information, which we'll pop in here. And then this is the key element here of what you want to set up, right? So you want to use your-company.com address. Okay, so this is definitely what you want. Do you have a domain? Yes. Then you type in your domain. Put in what you want your email to be. In this case, I'm using team. You might want to use your name. You can also later add additional users to this. So you might have team member A, team member B, and so on and so on. You can add that later. Again, it is about $8 to $10 per user per email address that you use. You might just want to use this one like team at your business. Put in a password, make sure you remember what that is, and click on the capture bot and continue. Now, this is kind of cheeky here because what happens is that Google recommends to you the business plan when you go and set this up. And when you look at their actual pricing options, you'll see they have one called Business Starter, which is literally half the cost. And it just does, and it's plenty of what you would need. The main difference that would affect you is you have 30 gigabytes of data instead of 2 terabytes. But for your usage of just having an email address here, this is totally fine. So we go back here. It doesn't appear to let me change it, but there will be a way. There will be a way to change that once we're in, and it is just a free trial at this point. So we're going to go ahead with it. Pop in your details on the checkout page and continue. Okay, it'll ask you to read through some conditions that you need to review here. And it'll take you through to your admin console. So this is the step which is required to actually get this email to work with your domain. In this case, we just click the activate button. So this is where it's going to get a little bit different depending on what your host is. Okay, so in this case, we're going to go, it's picked up, it knows where the domain is hosted, and it just says click sign in to activate. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to automatically add in the DNS records that allow this to work. So we click connect. Because we're already signed in, it sort of has access to it, and it's adding the DNS records. Now, if you have a domain host that this doesn't work automatically for, again, that's very unlikely. Like they do this with tons of different providers. I will show you in a minute where, like, what'll happen is it'll give you 5 DNS records that you need to add. I believe they're all MX records, and But while this is waiting, I'll just show you how to do that. You will just go into your DNS records and you'll go add a new record. You'll choose whatever type it is. Again, I'm pretty sure they're all MX records. And you'll put in the values exactly what it tells you to do in the prompt that comes up. Now, again, I'm probably not going to see the prompt because this is doing it automatically, okay? So in your case, you'll see like these records and it says go and add these in. It's literally just adding records and then fill in the values that it gives you on this page. But again, we're just going to sit here now. Obviously, I'll pause the video until it automatically adds those records, and then I'll show you the records that it's added in the DNS management area. Oh, it looks like we're done already. Now, again, it's doing its best to upsell you here to create more users here because that's more money. We don't need to do that because we already have a user. So we're going to skip. If you want to, that's where you use that, create, but we're going to skip that for now. Okay. What I'll do very, very quickly, again, most of you won't need this, but if I go back to my DNS records here for ActiveFit, we'll see now that this is the first MX record here, MX at, and then it's got this, priority 1 hour. Go to the next page. This is the remaining 4 records. Yeah, they're all MX records. And you'll see they look very, very similar, but notice it's Alt3, Alt4, and then there's a slight difference on the priority 5 ones here and here. Okay, so these are literally the records that you might be manually asked to add. Okay, but as I said, it will probably do it automatically for you. That's what it's done. And it may actually, yes, it does do this now. These 3 additional text records will have been done as well. Right, but again, this happens. Boy, it might ask you to add these in actually. Again, it'll tell you these are text records or TXT records like that. All right, coming back in here, we just need to make sure that we're ready to go. We'll just click on verify your domain. This should already be done. Yeah, this is what it's done with that TXT record. So this will probably just say this is done. Yeah, because it's done it through that automatic connection. Again, for you, it might say go and put this TXT record on your DNS records, and that verifies that you have access to it. Okay, so you can see now that I'm on, like, I'm literally in team at activefit.com.au. I can even go into Gmail and I can start using this account. Okay, and then here we are in our Gmail account. If you've already signed in to another Gmail, it might ask you to re-sign in at that point, but you literally use that password you set up like 3 minutes ago. And then here we are in our inbox, we can send emails. Now, the last thing I'll show you here is the pricing situation, right? So we want to go into, we're still in a Workspace here. So we want to go to the admin console. And in billing, click manage. Then you'll see your subscription here, Google Workspace Business Standard. Paid service starts in 13 days. So again, you haven't paid anything at this point. Click on that. And then it says upgrade or downgrade. And then click upgrade or downgrade. Now, again, you see all these options at the top here on how to upgrade. If you scroll down, ta-da, we find the Google Workspace Business Starter, which is very, very likely all that you need. And then click the downgrade button here. It will now give you a list of all the things you're going to lose by downgrading. So I do recommend checking this. Like, I'm just trying to make sure you get the best option, right? And I believe in many cases you just need the starter at the beginning. And you can see here the things that will change. You can scroll through and read that and decide if you actually need any of this stuff. If you don't, just go next. Flexible plan is $10 per month. There we go. If you go to annual, then it's $8 a month. That's up to you, whichever way you want to do it. Remember, as you add more users, that's per user. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it on flexible plan, $10 per month. Okay, and as it says, you're on the business starter now. Okay, so that's the process, right? And then from there, now you have your correctly branded email working. In this case, we've got team@activefit.com.au. And then on the back of this, if you're using this as a Zipleads user and you want to set up branded email sending domains, so that if you're sending as team@activefit.com.au, you want it to send via activefit.com.au, which is a relatively new requirement of emails such as Google, right? For these for your emails to just get to people's inboxes, not in their spam and not in their promo. You now have the account. You're now able to do that, right? So that's a separate process that we can help you with at ZipLeads. But this video has just been help to show you how to actually create a branded email domain, such as team@yourbusiness.com.au, using Google Workspace. So I hope you found this video helpful in terms of setting up a Google Workspace email that's branded to your actual domain. If you know anyone else that this would help, please feel free to share this video, whether or not they're using ZipLeads. I think more and more people would benefit from getting off of like traditional free email accounts, particularly with business, and starting to use their actual domain for their email. It's always been more professional, but now it's to the point where email deliverability is really going to start to get pretty bad by the sound of things if you're just using your free email providers like your Gmails to send information to your leads or even customers and members.